We're going to get this started in just a hair here. Tim, tell us, brother,
Yes,
where you're dialing in from?
from Germany.
From Germany. Excellent, excellent. Well, statistics have told us, last I heard, there's like 7 million people in a German Urine Therapy Association. Have you heard of it?
Wow, no.
Yeah.
7 million people?
What's the question?
7 million people in Germany?
7 million people. Last recording there was like 3 to 5 million in China. And one of our guys who's Dr. Mike Whitford, who's been doing urine therapy 20 years. I've known him for a while. I think he's up to 22 years. He claims there's 800 million worldwide practicing the sacred art.
Wow.
So whether that statistic is true or not, it feels like it offers some weight for us to share that with humanity. Since a lot of us are about sharing our discovery about wellness, that's not just a quick fix, but a whole lifestyle and a longevity practice. Irene, aloha, good morning.
Hello.
I like that you brought your universe with you.
Thank you.
Very nice. Where are you dialing in from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Wow, I've got relatives from Cleveland. Shaker Heights.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Very close.
Small world. Here comes May. We had a lovely meet and greet earlier today while I was on my hike. Her and her husband are both water family, so they have their story to share. May is about to jump off Instagram and be on Zoomagram, whatever the heck we want to call this thing. So guys, what we're going to do here is what we do on every one of my calls, whether it's the Q&A call, the conference call. By the way, we've had 38 World Urine Therapy Conference calls with as many as 44 people sharing the screen. Just finished teaching urine therapy training course number 15. And so one of the things we do is we start off, we're going to do a prayer and a communion. So I hope you brought your water.
All right.
PP water. Oh, I don't go anywhere without it.
What do you say?
Go get your water. Everybody's
Go
drinking their
get
piss.
your water.
Yeah. No way.
You're not on camera, dude. It's okay.
Oh, what? That's awesome.
Go get your Shivambu. We're going to do that this morning. And then we're going to go over the etiquette really quick. We'll do a communion prayer. I'll do announcements, and then we're going to head out. This is our sweet sister, Davina Joy from LA, coming on board. Davina's in the house.
Aloha.
Aloha, dear sister. Did you bring your nectar?
I do have some nectar. Oh, I have so many nectars. Hold on, let me grab one.
One will be sufficient. Thank you very much. You can always tell someone who is really into Shivambu, urine therapy, because they got water in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the car. I've got some sprays, 2 quarts in the car, ready for anything.
Yeah, we got this one's from I think yesterday.
Okay, good morning, May.
Hello, it's
May
May and Jona here.
Hi,
How's
Jona.
it going?
Good brother. Did you bring refreshments?
Absolutely.
We just went to fetch it. It's fresh.
It's as fresh as it gets. All right. No expiration date. I love it. So we're going to move right into this. Who can stay for 30 minutes? Okay. What's anybody's cutoff?
I got probably an hour if
About
we
an
go
hour.
without.
Okay. Anybody at any time, you're welcome to jump off the call. You just got to give everybody a quick hug before you go. And we're going to get started now. So does anybody have a copy of the original book that I came out with in 2018? Is this backwards or forwards?
It's forwards.
It's
Okay.
forward.
All right. So from this book is a sacred water prayer, and we're going to do it kirtan style. You guys familiar with kirtan? Devotional chanting?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll be the caller and you guys will be the responders. That's how that works. Kind of like nursery school, something like that. All right, it's called the Sacred Water Prayer. It's Native American. I have to wet my whistle. As you can tell, I'm serious about getting the message and the mission and being a messenger for this holy water. But I kid a lot about this subject. Have some fun with it. All right, so here's the prayer. I take this water of life.
I take this
I take this water of life.
Life.
I declare it the water of light.
I declare it the water of light.
As I bring this water within this body,
As I bring this water within this body,
it allows me to glow.
it allows me to glow.
I take this water of light.
I
I
take
take
this
this
Water
water
of light.
I declare it the water of God,
I declare it the water of God.
or creator or source, whatever you like. I am the master of all that I do and all that I am.
I am the master of all that I do and all that I am.
All that I am.
So be it. Salud.
Be it.
L'chaim.
Cheers.
Hi. Ashe. Cheers.
Okay. A quick review of etiquette. For some of you guys who are new to Zoom calls. I've produced a lot of these over the last 5 years, and some people are doing yoga while they're on camera. Some people are eating while they're on camera. Some people are talking to their sister while they're on camera. So you guys kind of like pay attention. You can mute yourself if you have to do whatever you got to do, but we're going to stay on topic today. So thank you very much. If you want to share something, or if you have a question, you can either press there may be a little hand sign somewhere, or you just raise your hand and we'll catch you in the order we can. All right. Now, I also want you to know this is family friendly, so no F-bombs or profanity, please. And please, no politics. That's my stand on that. Okay, thank you for honoring that. So real quickly, let's find out who you are, where you're from, and a minute or two about your journey. This is Brother Chitta. He is my adopted son. Our adopted daughter may or may not make it to the call. Brother Chitta, we just did the communion prayer. Did you bring some water? Got a man after my own heart right there.
Herbs in it. It's not that dark.
That's okay. So, Melanie, we're going to give everybody 2 minutes here. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and whatever you want to share about your urine therapy journey.
Okay, my name is Melanie. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I first heard of urine therapy maybe last year, a little over a year ago. And I heard about it once. It's sort of just went in one ear out the other. And then I heard about it again, and it took me about 5 minutes of education to just kind of switch that story about it being, the story that we've been told, that it's waste. So, and then I just became fascinated and started using it topically, and have been experimenting on and off for the last year and a half. And honestly, I've had some bumps in the road with the process, which is why I wanted to be on the call and hear other people's experiences. I have connected with someone else that's keen on this topic and spent some time with that person to understand their protocol. I think it's very individual, and I'm figuring out what that how to use it for myself that best supports myself, because I wanted to jump right in and do all of the things, but I had a sort of seems like extreme reaction. But I'm 100% on board with this being a solution to many, many problems, and the golden solution. And ideally, I would like to get to the point where I breathe.
Everybody, I will be holding this up from time to time in case you guys get long-winded.
Okay. Oh, so that was long. That was 2 minutes?
Yes. You want to just finalize it, or are you done?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Much love to you. I'm glad you joined us. You guys, one thing I want to say before we move over to Tim is that you fall in love with the water, fam. You just can't help it. We've got a thing going on that only we understand at the depths of our soul. We all know that we came from mom and we floated and drank in the water from our water and so forth. Kind of makes us womb mates. So thank you so much for not only answering the call and being part of a journey of all journeys, but this is a very a personal journey you're on. It's one that'll transform you. It will heal you. And if nothing makes you smile, drinking your pee will do the trick. So Tim, over to you.
Yes. Tim here, from Germany right now. It's like 12-hour time difference to Hawaii. I was on my journey from vegetarian when I was 11, then vegan later on. And then I was just like questioning more and more and more, went to raw, went to liquid fasting, went to fasting in general, detox, liver cleanse, and enemas and all that stuff. So all the kind of like pyramids or like all the stuff, right? All the evolution of going backwards to breatharianism. And I'm still on my journey. Like we all are already breatharians, but we are all in the reversal process to go back to breatharianism. And I was just like, why are all these people on YouTube? Because I watch so many people, and why can't they say like the simple, like the most fundamental answer to the basic needs for human beings? Like, why do they have so much wisdom, like about metaphysics, about spirituality, but they can't even, they want to sell you like a water filter. They want to sell you, like, they can't even give you this answer what to drink. And it was driving me crazy. I was like, this is like snakes oil man shit, snakes oil man shit. And I was like, what is the answer? And while I was traveling with a bike, going from Germany to Portugal, I got the divine message, and it was like a joke. And the joke confirmed for me what I have to do. So I was going in front of a supermarket, and I begged for food because I wanted to go zero money with the bike.
Sure.
And then there was a guy having the answer for my prayer. What do I have to drink from all this crazy motherfucking shit? You know? And then there was a guy coming, and he said, you need to drink distilled water and your urine. And then later on, like, he was a joker, he was like a trickster. In the end of the conversation, he asked me, what's my name? And I said, Tim. And what's yours? And he said, Tim. And the moment I knew, this is it. And I was never questioning it again. Never, ever.
Thank you. And it seems we're going to move over to Phil in just a minute. It seems that there's more and more people who understand their pull toward drinking urine, more of a spiritual connection. And some people just get it because they run into a brother sage, pretty convincing, and they go, okay, I'm in. So, it could be a book, it could be a video. Who knows what inspires people to get onto this journey. Phil, it's your time.
All right. Yeah, my name's Phil. I'm coming live from Kauai, Hawaii. And I've been on this journey or this part of my journey for, I don't know, a couple of years now. It just all kind of made sense, and it was kind of edgy too, so kind of dove in. And along the lines of Melanie, it's like, what is intuitively the practice that I wish to participate in, and how? And so I find myself kind of being a fine connoisseur. So if I'm eating like broccoli, because I'm basically a vegetarian, raw food, but if I'm eating like broccoli or asparagus, which I do a little bit, I may not choose to contain that, but I'm a fine connoisseur, so to speak. I just finished an 80-hour water fast, and oh my God, my urine was freaking electrifying. It was probably the best thing I've had to drink in quite some time. So anyway, I'm here for the journey, and yeah, it's just find what works for you, and then continue the journey and see what else comes up. I mean, I'm kind of open for everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Aloha, mahalo. This brother lives not far down the road from me. We were destined. We were supposed to meet. We had a lovely chat yesterday. quick commercial, and then we're going to move over to Irene. Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's actually Erin.
Irene, excuse me. You see this slogan? Can you guys read that?
Yes.
Yeah, I own the copyright. I want you guys to take it and run like hell with it. Put it on whatever you can and share it with the world. I got it registered with the copyright people, and I found out that the milk industry used to have a slogan that said "Milk does a body good," but they dropped the campaign in 2012. Yes, Chitta, I did my homework. They changed campaigns, they changed slogans, and I swooped in, and now I own Urine Therapy Does the Body Good. So have fun with that one, guys. All right, Irene.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm brand new to this. Today's day 2. And yay! I don't have anything to report. I have a lot of questions. I am surprised that I don't care for the smell, but the taste is actually kind of sweet and grainy. I was, yeah, very shocked. So I've been sick for 30 years with various things, and I'm ready for that to be over. That's it.
Thank you. You've come to the right place. What you're looking at here is a support group like none other. You can reach out to Brother Sage. You can reach out to any, well, it's up to them. But if you want to reach out to most folks, and even Davina over here, reach out to most folks. They'll hold space for you. They'll help you whatever you need.
Thank you.
All right, May and Jonah, you're up, guys.
Gotcha.
There we go. How's it going, everyone? I'm Jonah,
I'm May.
and we live in South Florida in Hollywood. And I first heard of Shivambu when I was just on Instagram, and one of my brothers was drinking his own elixir, and he was like, Shivambu. And that's all he said. And it just made me jump down this line of questioning. And then I started looking into it, and I was like, okay, I like the idea. I started putting some in a jar, and I put it in my closet, and then I started drinking it. First, I drank it with some ice cubes because I was like, ooh, I don't know, I'm not used to this warm temperature. And then I got used to it. I really started to enjoy it. I felt more energized and more hydrated when I was drinking, when I'm looping, than when I'm just drinking water, which makes a lot of sense the more you look into it. And then May and I got together, and I forget, she was talking about regulating hormones or something like that. And I told her, you know what you should do? You should drink your urine. And then she went on her own research. And now we're here. It's really awesome because I love to see a community of our people like this. This is amazing. I didn't, like, I know I do it, we do it, but everyone we ever talk to, they're like, oh my God. And now I'm sitting with all of you beautiful people, and we all understand.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, brother. I'm glad you've joined us. I'm glad you woke up. I'm glad you came to your senses, because drinking pee is more normal now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
We had some statistics put together over the years. I'd mentioned earlier that somebody said that there's a German Urine Therapy Association going on with 7 million members. In 2016, China had posted on their news feed, they had over 3 million members of the Chinese Urine Therapy Association. And with 50 countries from across the planet that we are aware of, a lot of things that happened in history wasn't written down. So our good buddy Doc Mike Whitcourt came up with some statistic that says we have 800 million people practicing Shivambu on the planet.
And many more that probably don't talk about it. They do it in hiding.
Right, for all you closet pee folks. I'm excited that Davina Jona is with us today, and I'm going to pass it over to you, sister. Time to weigh in.
Aloha. I love this too. Oh my gosh. Everybody's glowing, and we know why. And Erin, even though you just started, you're glowing too. You're gonna start hearing people being like, "What are you doing? You're glowing." And that was where it really started hitting me that, like, I mean, I've been telling people since hello because I'm just an open. I didn't expect that I would talk about it so much. By the way, I'm Davina Joy, live in Los Angeles. I have a PCast called Urine for a Treat. Brother Sage has been part of it before, and the Instagram is Urine for a Treat PCast. Because it took me 10 months to get there. The conditioning and the matrix programming was deep. And I kept on being like, oh, am I wasting my medicine every time I use a bathroom? And it was like, but I'm making more, so it's okay. And then it just finally happened on January 22nd of last year. And it is a high priority of mine. May and Jona, I love seeing a relationship with urine therapy because I do not have my person yet, but he will be a pee drinker. And though through my journey and Urine for a Treat PCast, I've had like 40 of my friends start doing urine therapy, which has been an honor just to know that people, I love saying people because I'm always like, people, it's in the word. It's like right in our face. But I love having people that see me and trust me so much that they would actually like drink their own urine, because in the matrix mentality, you're like, what the fuck still, right? Sorry, Brother Sage, but you knew I was gonna curse.
I don't give a fuck. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I'm like, we're all adults. What the fuck is this family friendly bullshit? Okay. But yeah, it was just like to see how much it's helped me, like the mental and emotional stability that I feel, which has probably been the biggest shift because I was already a pretty healthy person, is just absolute next level. And so being able to talk about this and bring this to anybody else's awareness, it's my soul's purpose. We are all pioneers here helping people remember. So just, I have a lot, like Brother Sage, of puns for this, but I love the community and I'm happy to be here with you. And thank you for trusting yourself and for remembering. Remember, yeah, the puns are endless, Melanie. Remembering who you are. And Melanie, I just wanted to comment, the thing that I loved the most and still do is that there's no dogma. The relationship to my intuition and to my body that has developed as well through being able to ask, like, now when somebody goes, do you need the bathroom? I literally hear, are you thirsty? Like, that is my brain is just like, am I thirsty right now? So yeah, I love that it's helping each individual person create a deeper connection with their intuition, with their soul, and with themselves.
1 minute, wrap it up.
Oh, we're wrapped. That was it.
Okay, well, I'm so happy to pee in your presence. I can pee myself, and if I pee on myself, you guys will just rejoice with me. So it's pistastic to have you guys here. We're going to introduce the P-fessor of P, Chitta Sena, out there in Kansas. Take it away, Chitta.
Hey, my name is Chitta. I am 27, been doing urine therapy about 3 years, and it changed my life. And I talk about things that changed my life. I've been sort of in the biohacker obsession for pretty consistently for a number of years, and, you know, saw the snake oil, saw stuff I liked. And of course, nature just kicks all that stuff's ass every time. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
Yeah. It's just my journey, you know? So I have some stuff I held on to from that time period, but I've moved way more holistic and it's been a joy. And, you know, you can talk about it nerdy too. You know, you can talk about urine therapy like a biohacker too. And so I like to nitpick those details because I want us to really get you know, just amazing explanations for the chemistry and how it works, because there's definitely some beautiful things going on there, like structured water and bioavailability, and it just sinks right into you, you know, just goes right through you. So it heals all the tissues really fast. Yeah. Good to see everybody. I love being a people person. Yeah.
Well, these are our peeps, as you can get used to them. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Let's move over to Tess Obras. How do you pronounce your name? So we can hear it right.
Can I say something quick?
Yes, Tim, go ahead.
It's so interesting, Matt. Like the biohacking you mentioned. It's like, imagine like the marketing of biohacking all over the world. It's like all these products, all these bulletproof coffees and whatever, all this shit, right? And you just need one simple thing. It's so simple. All the marketing of like biohacking you can put into trash directly. It's like complete trash. That's it. Yeah, this was just a comment.
Thank you. Well, they say there's nothing new under the sun. So we're basically, if you think about it, we're doing plasma from every possible direction. Chitta will know where I'm going with this. We're drinking blood plasma water, which is basically highly filtered through sophisticated chambers in the kidneys known as the nephron. So after the body takes the plasma and it runs it through the liver, transports it over the kidneys, you got an incredible array of 9,700 nutrients that are made by you for you. All right, so that's a form of plasma. What do you think the first responders give to a victim on the way to the ambulance? They give them plasma. They drip it into them. What did we just discover about the sea mineral, the matter that comes from the sea? It's also known as marine plasma. You're going to hear more about that in the days to come. And what is the fifth element, the fifth form of matter? Solid, liquid, gas, ether, plasma. It's also 5D consciousness. So there's a lot of us are understanding, came in a lot of different directions. And Tesobras, it's time for you to share who you are and what's going on with your journey. You want to do that? I don't know. It's getting through to her. Anybody want to start throwing some questions? And I'm the way I have this set up, I've got a list of questions if you get stumped. And the questions can be addressed to either myself, Chitta, or Davina Joy. So if anybody would like to start with a question, go ahead.
Just a question or just some insights?
Question. A question
Okay.
that gets an answer. All right, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to know if you've been diagnosed with a protozoan infection. Is this still good to do urine therapy?
Yes, it's very good
Really?
to do.
Part of it, a lot of bacteria change shape based off of the environment they're in. So if we can, it's called pleomorphism in bacteria. And so if we can improve the terrain, things get better, but it's a gradual process. Most, bacterial infections can be pretty bad, I understand.
Okay, it's not a bacteria though, it's a protozoa.
I kind of put that into the same category. Maybe I'm totally off. Likely pleomorphic is what I think.
So the answer is yes, and I would break it down to the Shivambu wisdoms, and I will give everybody a copy of that chart if you're interested. That the Shivambu says the only thing you cannot heal is what you believe you cannot heal. If we come from a standpoint of there is some isolated disease that's more difficult than any other disease, guess what our chances of healing it is? You guys understand that, why I'm saying it that way? Because in you stepping up to be a urine therapy teacher, I'm sure the guys at the bottom of the screen can confirm this, that people are going to come at you with every possible disease imaginable. Some you've never heard of, some that are considered incurable. And your job is to hold strong in your faith and confidence that their water came from them for them. And all they have to do is start making some major changes in their diet, lifestyle, exercise, emotional well-being, state of mind, and spiritual life. This is the holistic model that I've been using for 40-something years. And you can turn around anything.
And Irene, like urine is like self. It's like your DNA, your original human blueprint, and everything which is not self will automatically be removed from drinking your urine, because it's like you accepting your DNA, you accept yourself, and there's like an automatic process of deleting all information which is not you. So everything, every diagnostic, every symptom, every illness, every disease, all the names will be removed over time directly. It's like the atom bomb of healing. Like there's no chance that it will stay within you.
And I'll just add to that our urine cannot hurt us. is my true belief. And in anything that I've been experiencing, I've had friends who are like, I have a yeast infection. Can I still drink my orina? And I'm just like, yes, because the stem cells, like the stem cells alone, I mean, there's 3,500 compounds, many of them that we don't know that are in orina, but like the stem cells alone have, like, when I hear it, my body's just like, trust. I mean, I drank a catch that was black. It was so aged and it was black, and I did not plan on drinking it. And my body, as I was prepping it to do an enema, I was putting like part of the evolved with fresh. And I just heard spirit being like, take a sip. And it was like, no, like, there's no way. And it's like, do you believe that this is medicine? Do you believe that this cannot harm you? I have put myself out to be an experiment. I'm experimenting for myself and able to share it with everybody. And I will tell you right now that though it smelled very badly, which I just had to like knock out of my head, it was literally the cleanest, purest tasting water that I have ever put into my body. And it was black. It was so dark. And I did a shot of it and I could not believe how good it tasted. It did not smell great, but it was absolutely magic. So I truly believe that what Brother Sage is saying, like, our thoughts are as powerful as our orina. If you look at something and you're just in that trust and that faith and surrender that you're going to be taken care of and protected and healed, it's going to happen, period.
Thank you. And I hope you guys got the heart of that matter. We're going to go over to May and Jona, who have raised their hand. Go ahead, guys.
Brother Sage,
Thank
I have my
you.
sticker.
Thank you, Brother Sage. So I actually want to expand a little bit more the topic of evolved urine. So I was talking to Brother Sage earlier today. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, but I'd love to hear experiences with aged urine around what you all have experienced, but how can we use it? So I now understand after a conversation with Brother Sage that you can use it in all the same ways that you would do the fresh. So can we elaborate a little bit more on your experiences with evolved urine and how much to age it, how much to consume it, if we're ingesting it or putting it on, what are different ways to, I'm connecting the dots here. So if you would kindly elaborate, anyone who has experience, that would be wonderful.
Brother Sage is grabbing some right now. I guarantee
There was a time where I went down to the labeling. I've been doing this since 1994. And there was a time where I was going, okay, this was on September 5th, 2020. This was on May the 10th. Yeah. And I got to the point I'm going, I'm just going to pick up the one that feels right. So this one's like 2 weeks old.
Very yellow.
We have a jar, and just us intuitively, we put both of our elixir in a jar, and now we've had it for several months, and we looked at it today after our conversation. I'm curious, I want to see what it's like. And it's now brownish, and it's got the sediments, brown sediments, and it had like a dark thin layer on the very top. So we just shook it all up, and now it is, but it is evolving. It is definitely changing as time goes by. Because I remember a few months ago when I looked into it, there was like this white sediment in the bottom, and it looked crystallized, almost like, oh, there's crystals growing in here. How neat is that? What is it? I don't even know. But it must be something really cool. So this is still like a thing that we have yet to explore. We know we're doing it, but we don't know exactly what to do with it.
Thank you. Great questions. I'm watching Jona suck all this up. Yeah.
I just listened to, there was a clip on Instagram from Dr. Amanda Vollmer. She's done a podcast before with another doctor who did not do Shivambu. She's been doing Shivambu for a long time. Her oldest catch is 5 years old. So you can keep old catches. For me, I feel like using it for enemas, mixing it though with fresh, because the older one can be spicy or burny, or it's just powerful. It's really powerful medicine.
Yeah.
So mixing it with fresh, if I needed it, I'd use it topically. If I feel called, again, like Spirit was like, ingest that that catch so that you can say that this is safe. Cause I was like, what if it does make me sick? And it's like, do you believe that's going to happen? And I knew it wouldn't. But I would just say that again, it's really tapping into asking yourself, like, does this feel like something I need to have? How should I use it? You could use it for soaking your feet. I know Brother Sage has mentioned that, like, when you have a catch for soaking your feet, you can use that multiple times and soak your feet in it multiple times. It's not just like a one-time thing. You can put it in a bathtub. I've oil pulled because I oil pull every single morning and I usually use coconut oil. And I had about a month and a half where I was only using my orina, my first of the day, and it's just a tablespoon. I did start feeling like my teeth might have started turning a little yellowish. So what I decided with the oil pull is I'm only going to use, like, if I drink a lot of water and then catch it, like a clearer version. And even if it's a few days old and I let that evolve, I'll use that, because I do think evolved is better for the gums. But outside of that, I mean, I literally wash my hair with it. I snort it. I do everything with my orina. And I feel magical. And no one's ever told me I smell like pee. So they should, but they haven't.
Well, and that's a settled thing. We've got Doc Roz on the line. Would you like to weigh in?
Okay, there it is.
You're
Can you
good.
hear me? All right.
Yay!
Greetings, everybody. My name is Rosalind. Started this practice in 1975. Watching a man do some funny things in the backyard. But, my thing to do with the aged is I have a barrel. It's a 55-gallon barrel with about 40 gallons of aged urine in there. And I allow urine to age like a baby, 9 months, before I even taste it or dip in it. And I choose a certain time of the year to collect this, and I call it the bridge. And that is the months when we're not in the womb, because that is incomplete. That bridge. We fall in. But if the bridge is complete, because I jump in, I complete that cycle.
That bridge, yeah.
So there's a book that Swami Rama gave me, and it was The Wonders of the Human Body, at Chemistry and Wonders of the Human Body. And it talks about, in the last chapter, about the bridge. And that bridge, I mean, it's all in code of like the water of life, the water of life, the water of life, the water of life, not urine, but once you the water of life. Yeah. You jump in it or you jump out. Most people are out after birth, but misunderstand the programming and are diverted from hearing or wanting to learn the truth of their origin, the place of where they belong. Any questions, throw it at me, no worries. Got this down. As of, I think I always just celebrate on my birthday, my 50th, year of practice will be this summer.
Thank you. Roz, by the way, it was your inspiration of sharing your ormus, your dried orin at the Water of Life convention.
Yeah, there's a jar of it around here.
She passes around, like, I've only been in community for about a year, and she's passing around. I'm going, I'm holding Doc Roz's pee in my hand. I felt so special about it. And I'm going, can I sniff it? Can I put my finger in? And we're just passing around for to take a look at it. But I have some that
amazing.
Amazing. Did you dry it out in a baking pan? How did you get it to dry? Because people.
Yeah, what do you do?
So in my space, I have, a month of jars, quart jars, and I just fill them up as I go. And so I pour off that sediment. I pour off the top urine from the sediment so I can collect it in one jar, all the sediment. So then that urine, that as it settles, then I pour off that top urine and then when it gets about an inch thick of sediment, 2 fingers high, I'll put it in a pie dish to give it more tension, because it's thinner, so it'll gas off and evaporate much faster. And then you just can take a chisel and chisel it out, and then you end up with your salt.
And what do you use that like in food, or what are all the uses of having it in that sense?
Well, it tastes like salt. The saltiness changes due to how, your intake. And so Swami Rama would put it with butter, salted butter. Everyone loves butter. And, but he would eat it frozen or cold. So it was mixed and then, shaped and then shaved off whatever he was eating.
Interesting.
So I put this in like some baked goods as a salt substitute. But it's mine, so I don't distribute it in everything.
I was going to ask, do you just hear children of the neighborhood? Here's some powerful cookies for you.
Have a treat, my friends.
Taste the
Mom,
salt.
this is the best cookie I've ever had.
Taste the salt of my land.
Thank you for joining today,
Rose, what do you think is this exactly? Like this right sediment? What do you think it is? Because everyone's asking the question.
I have a hunch. I mean, this is, over just deep listening, is that the sediment, yes, we have the argument, are inorganic and organic, and like a plant will absorb inorganic matter and transmute it into organic because we eat it, right? So does our body mimic that pattern as a plant? When we eat inorganic material or organic, we can transmute that inorganic into organic, and the excess organic, we're going to urinate it out because the body can't store it. It will not store it. I've asked the question, sat underneath a couple of willow trees, help me understand this dialogue of what function this serves us, that we truly do not understand what the results are by looking at some jars. But, I watched Swami Rama take the cream, he called it, into a surface that allowed it a surface tension to dry faster, and then scrape it out and then eat it. So in listening and asking, where did this come from? And to myself, for myself, that it's excess, just as we would call urine is an excess of fluid that's within the blood plasma system.
And is there a reason he would turn it into this instead of just drinking it back through having it evolved, or like I have this evolved one, you can see the sediment on the bottom? Is there a reason that he would turn it into this form? Did he have a reason of why?
It travels.
Ah.
Aren't we having water restrictions when we go to certain places?
I mean, I've gone to a bar in an airport and been like, can I get a plastic cup, and gone to the bathroom and just taken it in the bathroom. Like, I'm just like, I need to drink it right now. Like my body wants it. Right. So like, but I think that's also taking away the stigma. Like I've gone to the beach with a friend and we each had ours and we put it in the sand for a bit and let the sun and the sand just like absorb into it. And then we cheersed our glasses and we're just sitting on the beach here in California, drinking our orina. And I mean, I think that's part of it, is starting to come so far out of the closet. Whenever people see my water bottles, they're like, is that? And I'm like, will it stop you from wanting to drink my water? Because then yes, it is.
Yeah, that's happened a few times. Like, oh, you better not drink from that.
Yeah.
Is there urine in there? I'm like,
Or you better, and then have a fun little high.
Well, I'm
oh,
one of these
they'll be
guys.
going, what's going on?
I keep one of these quarts in my car at all times because you never know when you got to collect some. And then every now and then I have this little residue of when I'm popping it up and dropping it back and drinking it, that people might be looking in the car wondering if it's not a beer. And so it's amazing how your mind is purifying and cleansing your association with the water. So it becomes second nature and you don't feel that awkwardness. Oh, by the way, how many of you live in a situation where you have a husband, a wife, a housemate, or some situation where you feel that you may have to be compromised to continue your Shivambu lifestyle? So you know,
I'm so lucky. My roommate's amazing. He's been very accepting.
yes, I bring that up because where I live now, before I moved to Hawaii, I checked in with the housemate, and I say, "Listen, I do urine therapy. Is that okay?" She says, "Dude, this is Hawaii. Nothing's too weird out here." And then the last people I lived with, one was one of my students, and he got up to 4 ounces and was real proud of himself. I said, "Wait till you get up to 16 and 32 ounces a day." Well, his wife took offense because my use got a little bit way bigger than maybe I should have, and so I'm bathing in it and enemas in it, and the smell's going down the hallway, and it's in the kitchen area. And she says, "Dude, you got to do something about it." I said, "I love you guys. I've known him for like 30 years. I love you guys. I don't want to have to move out." So what I did was I did a little adjustment and put a lot of it in ice chests in the garage. And so I found ways that when they're gone, I'm out in the back doing a full out naked bath and in the sun. And you can design your wellness, your Shivambu practice any way you can imagine. So don't let it stop you.
Or Brother Sage, you just moved to Kauai, right?
Yeah, hang out with Phil.
I wanted to mention the positive feedback loop that we're talking about. I really recommend people take it slow but consistent. Whatever keeps you in a groove where you can do just a little bit every day. The positive feedback loop, like, gets stronger when you sleep, and it's real. Like, you get on day one, although everybody here's tried it, but on day one you could like take your pinky in there, just look at it, notice that your pinky isn't dissolving, that it's safe, and just go from there.
You didn't die and you didn't get sick.
Yeah.
And I really, sorry, go on.
Shall I you? You want or shall I?
Yeah, no, go ahead, Tim.
Okay. My latest experience right now is like I didn't take a shower now for I think like 22 days, 23 days, no shower, only urine. And I can really see from direct experience, I need to eat less because my sexual hormones are not washed away. And it's like you are staying in your own frequency. They can really see the contrast from before. So I'm having less any like parasitic cravings or anything. So the fasting becomes more natural automatically when you don't shower so much your sexual hormones away. And like I feel my frequency, like my electromagnetic house is like stronger, it's more stable. As if I would shower every 2-3 days with something. It's really interesting.
Do you wash with urine?
Yeah, just urine. I take like 2 liters, and then in the sun, like just here, your genitals, your ass, everything.
The hair instantly gets amazing. Like I haven't done it for a little bit, so it's oily, but it never looks oily when I wash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So we don't even need to shower anymore. It's amazing. I don't even actually have the need to shower anymore. Like it's so amazing. I don't want to go in there. Like it's so cool.
It's a gas chamber.
Yes, it is. Fucking gas chamber. It is.
Thank you. There was a water sister out in France I got the honor of interviewing a couple years back, Ma Davy, and she said she hasn't taken a bath or used public city water in 20 years. She just collects and goes out back or whatever, and she's clean as can be. And with the power of Shivambu to be antiseptic in it, who's got noise going on there? Somebody need to mute themselves.
Yeah, there's the Susan, if the Susan can mute their video.
All right, I'm going to take us back to 1917.
You might be able to mute her, Brother Sage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. We love you. Okay. 1917. Do you know where I'm going with that year?
No.
1917. There's this lovely organization known as the Rockefellers. You might have heard of those dark guys. Well, they decided that they wanted to do some pretty nefarious things on the planet. And the first thing that we heard about was they decided to control healthcare worldwide. So it was in 1917, they didn't want to have competition because of power and money and all that. So they started demonizing all the alternative healthcare practices, including urine therapy. So that's when they started running the propaganda and demonizing urine and saying it's a waste product, blah, 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 because they would have no money if the word stayed where it was. But what they couldn't keep out, couldn't stop, was the urine therapy movement has a lifespan and has a power of its own. And so we're still here, we're going strong, and I'm going to pass the microphone. Anyone has a question? Melanie, open your mic.
Yeah, I was hoping to share some experience and see if anyone else has had this experience or knows someone that has. So once I got on board, I was kind of fully on board with protocols, and I started doing enemas and drinking, and not at the same time. But I had a major reaction where I wasn't glowing. I basically turned gray, and I lost weight really quickly. So my guess is I was going through a detox process. And if that's the case, if I do that again, I will need to plan the container for that detox process and not try to do my regular life. But I was so excited to just jump in. And this is what I mean. Like, I had to navigate it so I could actually function. But so many people, it seems like I don't know. The people that I started learning from, it seemed like they jumped right in. And I guess I wanted to be like them right away. But again, as I'm learning, it's very individual. So have other people experienced that when they experimented or have coached with others that have had
Many people have. Many people who, particularly those that don't understand what detox symptoms are, and that the body is going through a natural process of eliminating all the things that you put in there that weren't necessarily the best, or all the things that came from the air, that came from our soil, that came from all that. Your body is constantly on the lookout for those things so you can return to homeostasis. That's what we're designed to do, is to regenerate and stay in balance. It does take you to be proactive, guys. It does take us to do our work every day and be really mindful of what you're eating, what you're thinking, how you're having conversations with other people. And you can really get your body and your brain back anytime you want.
And to add along that line is the detoxification from a physiological perspective, but also from a mental and the conditioning that's coming in. Those little voices that are coming in going, "What, see what happened? You did too much. You didn't do it the right way. Now we're going to turn you gray," and all this stuff. And you go through the self-doubt and questioning and so forth, when it's really just release and surrendering and trusting that this is all divine in nature and receive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It said something that is part of the infrastructure or what makes us solid for me, and that is faith. When your faith in your water, which is another metaphor, your faith in your higher self, your faith in the Almighty, is stronger than ever, not only do you get results, not only do you handle your limited thoughts and your resistance, but you can be a solid rock for people who are desperate, hopeless, helpless, and they show up in your life and in your field, and you're not even going to question. You're there to serve them, and you'll be able to.
Absolutely. I had a friend who started doing it, and he was the only person who wasn't having magnificent results. I mean, for me, it was like as soon as I started it, it was just all uphill. And I have a lot of friends who have had that experience, but this guy was like, it was making him vomit. It was making him, he wasn't sleeping well. And what he realized when he was sitting in an ayahuasca ceremony was that the magical medicine of our sacred waters was so powerful that it was starting to bring up some emotional trauma from being molested as a child that was still in his bones, in his muscles, in his body, in his blood. And he wasn't connecting the dots. But when he sat in ayahuasca, that's when he realized that this medicine was bringing something up so powerful that he hadn't faced, that he hadn't held space for, and told him to continue to do this. I had a friend call me one day and was like, I just had a weekend of ayahuasca and grandmother wanted me to tell you to please pee on the ground. Like the earth wants to receive your orina. Please continue to share that with the earth. And I was like, that came through, like I came through to receive that message through your Aya journey. Like that. And she started doing urine therapy because of me sharing about mine. So I think there's a lot of things that, and he still continues to do urina therapy. He was only going to do 30 days, but it was life-changing for him. And he was just like, I feel like a pharaoh. I feel like a king now, being able to face the hardest thing that ever happened to me and hold space for it and love it. And so I would say that like, your experience is never going to be the same because of how much you detoxed from that first experience. You might still like, there's still times, especially if I drink Evolved, where I will poop like water, right? Like it will just go through my body and it will just be like a quick detox. When I first started urine therapy, I had to make sure for at least an hour I was by a bathroom, because I would be going to the bathroom 2-3 times within that hour, like just detoxing and detoxing. And somebody initially would be like, oh my God, I drink pee and now I have diarrhea. It must be wrong. There's a problem. But when you start working with your body and you start doing plant medicine and you learn about how beautiful the purge is, this purge is very powerful. Your body knows what it needs. So when you start respecting and loving that purge, like I've had friends who have had mad breakouts and they're like, but your skin looks so amazing on urine therapy. Why am I breaking out? And I'm like, do not compare us. I don't know what you're eating, what you're doing, what environmental factors have affected your being. And so you can't compare it, but they just trusted it, kept going through it, and then their skin clears up and they're glowing. And so it's that whole thing of really the surrender without attachment to when it has to happen, without attaching ourselves to any end result, but just in the pure faith and certainty that this sacred water made from me, of me, by me, for me is exactly what I need. And that's it. It's like just that faith. We have this faith in God, in source, in magic. And it's like the faith is in our pee. The fountain of youth is not outside of us. It's literally coming from us. But they want to keep us focusing externally. Where can I find all the answers, all the magic? Because dude, we're 4%. America's 4% of the population. We are 41% of the pharma use in the entire world. We are 4% of the population. And that will not be the case when more people start waking up to their sacred waters. Just not going to happen.
Thank you, sister. Love it, love it, love
Totally
it.
Wow,
agree.
yeah.
For you
Thank
guys,
you so much for that.
for you guys that are already urine therapy teachers, therapists, or have an interest and you're interested in moving into urine therapy, teaching, educating, writing, talk show hosts, etc., I want to give you a little heads up. I start doing consultations like 6 a.m. I'm barely out of bed, and people are calling me from Europe and from Germany and from Africa and all kinds of places. People are tired of fake medicine and what the medical industry has been doing to manipulate humanity long enough. They're looking for answers. Here walks in urine therapy. You guys are going to have more work than you realize. So practice, know it, and talk to the folks here on the screen that have been at it for a while.
Brother Sage, that is one question I have for you, because I feel like for the first year I shared so much for free, and the energy exchange was very nice to know that people were waking up and were using the medicine for themselves. Like that was a beautiful energy exchange. Then it came to a point where I'm like, okay, like the questions that are asking me, I've actually already either talked about on my PCast, or it's in a book, or there's ways to get it. So now it feels like if you just want to connect and get simple answers very quickly to direct questions, but how do you shift into that energy exchange of like, do you charge for an hour conversation? What do you charge for an hour conversation? Do you keep it donation based? How do you switch to that place of being like, hey, my life experience is of value. The fact that I've been doing this for 17 months now, and I'm going to be doing it for the rest of my life, is of value. How do I switch that into being able to get that many calls? I want to be talking about piss all day and getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've taken my share of hits from people in the urine therapy community who said, well, urine is free. How can you charge for anything related to urine? I said, that part is free, but the experience, the years of research, the personal experience, the consultations, the energy, everything I put in to get to where I am today, putting out 6 books, doing all this consultations and stuff, is valuable, very valuable. And the people who get it have no problem exchanging their money for your worth and for your time and wisdom. I'm currently getting $108 for an hour session. My work has always been negotiable. Some people are breaking up in payments. Some people going, I'm an elder, blah, blah, blah. Here's $40. I said, fine, let's get started. Right? And if you want to do gratis, do gratis. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
It's also in the spiritual community, especially, it's so inverted that they all think information is free. In the end, it is, but we are coming from a society which is just consuming. And on social media, it's more on a personal level. And they are like always ringing on your door, like, hey, it's all free, right? You're like, hey, Davina, can you tell me this? Can you tell me this? But they don't realize all your experience, all your so much time you invested into coming to this, and it's like it shows like such a poor level of how we actually value the people who are actually helping us, you know. And you can see it everywhere, especially in the spiritual community. It's like sometimes it's driving you mad, like oh my god, you invest so little in the people who actually save your ass, you know.
Well, if you look at their life, you can see that they still have lack and scarcity mentality, even though they're spiritually connected. They haven't worked out the unconscious poverty mentality.
I think there's also in the spiritual, like my ideal world would be money doesn't exist. I have a passion and a purpose. Tim has a passion and a purpose. May and Jona have a passion and purpose. And we all support each other through that passion and purpose. And I think that can get a little effed up in the spiritual community where it's like, oh, well, let me barter. Whereas it's like, I still have bills to pay. Like, I know we all want to be out of this matrix, but there is still an aspect of like survival and being able to take care of myself and provide for myself. And I tell people like, look, you can watch all of my PCast episodes. I've had very different guests from all over who have very different experiences. You can sit for an hour and a half and listen to that. I can send you over other podcasts. There's books, The Water of Life, Your Own Perfect Medicine, The Guide to Urine Therapy. There's so many things out there. If you just want your personal questions to be answered and you want me to take the time out of my existence to do that, there needs to be, and I've had some friends who they'll be like, hey, can I talk to you for an hour? We'll talk for an hour. And then they'll just send me $100 without me even asking, because they understand that value of the energy exchange and they see my experience as valuable. And I think that can be the hard part, is some people just, maybe they're just not realizing the value there. But Brother Sage, you're correct. When you're in that lack mentality and you're just like drowning, trying to look for all the answers, we never realize that when you invest for yourself, you receive so much more in return.
Yes, and Davina Joy, you also have the option is to call them out. You're welcome to challenge people, because these people are stuck energetically. They're not moving forward. And the reason that people get sick, you might have heard me say this before, the 2 reasons people get sick, it's either what you eat or, listen to it, what's eating you. So they're not working out the unconscious stuff, the patterns in their thinking, the belief systems, et cetera, and they're into their comfort. They're lazy comfort. If you
They're
want to
lazy
talk
and
about it,
suffering comfort. Yeah.
yeah, if you don't want to see people in your life that you love suffering, you may have to step in with tough love. Phil, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to expand on that, and then I'm going to have to jump off here in a moment. But what I did when I started charging was I switched the perspective, or the I switched the perspective that I was coming from, in that if people weren't willing to pay for a cup of coffee, so to speak, or invest in themselves, I was helping them realize how important it was to invest in themselves. And just like Davina Joy was stating, they get so much more when you do choose to invest in yourself. And so I'm just another platform for them to kind of step into that. And it's on an inexpensive basis, which is fine, but that'll just help them, further their journey. That's my perspective. And then, Roz, I had a question. You mentioned a book that part of the title was The Wonders of the Human Body. Could you state that and who the author was, please?
The author is George W. Carey, a 1912 print.
And Carey is with a C?
Correct.
Great.
And what's the book name again?
The Chemistry and Wonders of the Human Body.
All right, let's get this in there. The chemistry.
Phil, I have to ask, are you Projector Phil because you're a projector in human design by chance?
I was wondering that too.
Yes. Human design I found is foundational. And as a projector coming into this world, it just answered so many questions.
Yeah.
And I've got
I'm a pure generator, man. And that
there you
answers
go.
all the questions too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a projector life.
Exactly. No, it's just
projectors
crazy.
are destined to take over the leadership of humanity from the millions of years of manifestors to leading humanity. Yeah. And you guys are talking about the truth. So you guys, this is the aura to look at.
Yeah, no kidding, right? And so it's all being pieced together divinely so for me. And so I'm starting to step out of the shadows, so to speak. It's exciting and amazing. And we'll see where it goes.
Cool, dude.
But thank you for noticing me. I appreciate you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Phil. We'll see you
If
around.
anyone, I put it in a chat, but if anybody would like to be on the PCast and talk about your urine therapy journey and experiences, I would absolutely love to have you on. Brother Sage has been on before. Eric Casano has been on before, who cured himself of cancer. Tucci is amazing. I've had some really amazing guests. I've had people who I think my first one, my friend hadn't ever drank her. I had her on to talk about her curiosity, and then on the PCast, she ended up drinking it for the first time. So that was amazing. But please reach out to Urine for a Treat PCast on Instagram. I would love to have you on for sure.
And before everybody jumps off, when this is all over with, and I put the description together before uploading it on YouTube, if anybody would like their personal website address or social media address included in the description, because I support you guys as much as possible, send it to me. However you send it to me, social media will be fine. And then when the description is all figured up, and I'll put up the link and you guys can play with it.
Love you, Brother Sage. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep the peace together.
Are you down for more time, or are we cutting it off? Oh yeah,
Rose, I love you.
this
I
one.
want you on the PCast, Rose. If that's up for, I would love to talk to you.
Sure, there's many things that I can share. We all call this I love you, but it's the fingers, the folded ones, go inside our vagina, ladies. This is a fresh urine douching.
I love you.
I
saw the piece together as interwoven fingers.
Sure. Oh, the DNA strand.
Yeah.
Hey, Roz, can you show us your tattoo?
Oh, which one?
The one with
Yeah.
the chemical symbol.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
guys. Alchemical symbol for urine.
Uh-huh, very
love
nice.
it.
I was wondering who
Nice.
owned that one. Yeah, yeah,
And
very
then
good.
there's another one. It's kind of it's from the book.
That's the Wonders book, The Wonders of the Human Body.
Yeah,
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank
kind
you,
of what it looks
everyone.
like. It looks
Aloha.
like astrology.
Phil.
Aloha, Phil.
We'll see you. We'll definitely see you around the island.
Thanks for asking me to jump in with you.
Sure. What a treat. What a treat. Whoever left.
I definitely had some more stuff to shoot around if we are going to the half hour, but we don't have to go all the way to the half hour.
I'll listen to what you got to shoot around, Sita.
We got 20 minutes. It's Chitta. Chitta, go ahead.
You know, like why is urine therapy so much like psychedelics, right, Davina? I love the topic.
Yeah.
It's a great topic. I got a good answer.
I would
I'd like
love
to
to
share my
hear.
answer. So when you take psychedelics, you're taking in crystals that take in very high vibrational energies and experiences. And when you get rid of the crystals, you no longer download that stuff. And urine is a liquid crystal. That's the whole argument.
Yeah.
And your body is a liquid crystal.
Mhm.
It is, because it's made of 99% water. By number of actual molecules in the body, it is 99% water all the time. It's constipated with things that might not be well accounted for, but what's inside the tissue? 99% water. And that's number of molecules. The reason why they said 70% was because that's by weight. See, molecule is a very light molecule. It is H, and it's way up there on the periodic table. Carbon is like a lot of the rest of it. Yeah, carbon-based life forms. Yeah, not really. Still not really. We're 99% water by molecules, man. That's what should count. Each one of those molecules are like the essence of the thing. So it's like, really, weight is like kind of secondary to what the molecule is, if you ask me. These light molecules are very powerful after all, and carbon is important, but it's 1% of the actual molecules, and about 30% of the weight is carbon and other things, minerals and things. Yeah.
Wow.
Stuff that doesn't burn when you burn up the corpse, like all the 12 cell salts. And that's why I loved the instruction to work with the urine to age it long term. That is, it's collected in the 3 months where you're prior
The
to your
bridge.
conception. Is that what it is? Yes,
Bridge.
prior to your conception or after you're born.
Yep. After birth to the time of birth.
Yeah.
The bridge, last chapter.
Can you say the time period one more time? It's just a little hard to hear from me.
It's the 3 months. So say I start collecting my urine on my birthday until 90 days passes.
Okay.
And then I just let that, I got 2 jugs. One is a 15 gallon and there's 2 5-gallons. So I got 25 gallons or
Nice.
30 of that bridge
2 thumbs up.
of last year. And like what I do with the aged urine is I throw it in the barrel, and that's what I jump in on a daily basis to chill out. And I feel like a root. I'm just soaking my skin, my root, into the surface of what I created.
And then for the
So
others,
deep,
so
I've been
from
in the closet for 40 years before I came out.
from your birthday to 90 days is where you collect, but you're still collecting after the 90 days throughout the rest of the year, or you're only
I
working?
don't
Okay.
put a drop in the toilet. Never.
Okay.
Have for years.
Yeah.
There's probably a collection of, I would say minimally 200 gallons of aged urine in parts of the house, if not in the garage.
Wow. I want a house. I need a house with a yard and a place that I could I'm glad to have a balcony, because I usually have there is some dark orina there, but sadly that got a lot of rainwater into it. And I'm going to have to give that back to the earth and start over, because I don't trust the rain and the sky and the chemicals, especially after the stuff that happened in Ohio that was going up into the air, all that stuff. So I'm like, I think I have to just dump those, give it back to the earth, and then start over. But the good thing is making more.
Yep,
Always
we
making
always
more.
will make more.
We'll always make more. When I had to leave Boulder, I had to leave all my supply behind. So I did as much massages and hair because I wasn't going to take 4 or 5 gallons on the airplane. I wasn't going to ship it. Oh, you guys know who Daniel Morel is? Chitta does. He came to our last Shivambu retreat in Portland.
Wait, the one on Instagram that does like relationship stuff? Not, oh my God, he's the best.
No. He goes by the handle Epic Dan. Our urine.
Oh, I know Epic Dan.
He has remedy. Anyway, he convinced his dad to bring 40 gallons of his evolving urine in a station wagon with mom from California. Was it from California, Chitta? And he came up to Portland, and we're helping him.
No, he was in state. So he was local, but he still brought so much.
He brought buckets. At one point, we had a kiddie pool.
Rattling around in the back, all in these crates and things.
But listen to this, guys. We found a kiddie pool that was around the lodge that we were renting, and we had 6 people soaking their feet in the public community pee pool. And it was just so much fun. We got to experiment with Shivambu in ways that we never thought we could. So, we were giving.
May, I love your face.
We drank tea. It was a whole lot of fun.
It's funny because even when you're in this world, I will hear of people doing things, and there's still a piece of me sometimes it's like,
what?
Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot. When I first listened to the podcast that pushed me over the edge and finally pushed me into myself and had me do this, I was listening to the guy talking about bathing in it and washing his and doing this. And I was like, I'm never going to do that. All I want to do is drink my orina. And now I have jars that I bathe and wash my hair in and do. It's so funny. But yeah, thinking about
your body starts going like, yep, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. So what's the difference between that and a parasitic craving? I'm sorry, May.
Hold on, Chitta. May, go ahead.
Can you go into a little more detail about this retreat, the Shivambu retreat?
Yeah,
what does that look like?
Last September, and the connections and the vibe has supported me ever since. Beautiful, amazing power punch. Localization of, because we can connect over a distance more than other people because our antennas are in tune to the same wavelengths and they're cleaner than other people's antennas. So this stuff right here is beautiful white magic, non-local connection, and it's real, but it's even more potent in person.
The Shivambu Wellness Retreat started in 1980, and at the time I was doing spiritual purification and cleansing and spiritual practices. It was known as the Spiritual Purification Retreat, also known as, you like to play on words, the Slow Fast Retreat. And so we brought this to life last year, starting in Oceanside, California. 14 people showed up. And we did different forms of Shivambu, yes, but we were also doing breathing groups, chanting groups by an open fire. We had people do one-on-one sessions with each other. We were teaching affirmations, do walks every morning at 7 o'clock. And then we reproduced it, kept the same format, and reproduced it in Portland. And the next place, as far as I know, will be Kauai.
I love how it's Florida.
That's amazing.
Try coming to Florida. Let's do something here.
Where?
It's in Florida.
In Hollywood. I'm in Hollywood, California. I have a sister in Hollywood, Florida, actually, but she's not cool.
If anybody wants to organize, reach out to me in any platform you can. We've got the outline, the handouts, the singing charts. I mean, everything you need, just plug and play. You just got to change the dates and get new designs, and it can happen.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're in.
I love that.
You're in? Did you say you're in?
You're in.
Yeah, that was part of the intention of the people there, is to facilitate the growth of the model. So everybody's got freedom, but it's like we give you enough to work with, and it's something that's reasonable, which is basically what Sage was able to say in about 10 words. So he's got it down, and I'm excited about its potential.
The mission of the retreat is for you guys to custom design a Shivambu wellness practice that brings you the results, and that it'll last you a lifetime. And so the true people who are doing this every day, and I'm just honored to be amongst you guys on the screen, the ones that have taken this to heart are serious devotees of this water. And a day won't go by when they're not even, when you're either drinking it, snorting it, foot soaking it, up your bum, in your eyes, whatever it is, you're just drawn to it magnetically. What you'll notice is during the day, if your energy starts to dip, somewhere, I don't know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I don't know how well you guys handle your energy, but that's the time you want to start popping it up your nose and snorting it, however you can, because your brain wakes up.
Mhm.
And whether it's fresh,
When you say snort it,
It
is it like
hydrates it.
it rehydrates it. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Some-
you
feeds it.
talking about the
rehydrates it.
powder?
It's like watching a
No,
plant that
water.
hasn't
So like,
Fluid.
you water for a while, you water and it
Right.
springs back up. You know, if it was a wilted plant, the same is going on in here. As far as the hydration versus the dehydration.
Right. So
distilled water doesn't dehydrate you. No way, no way, no how. That's why I would even call urine a form of distilled water. However, plasma is different than distilled water, and plasma really hydrates it.
well, yeah, because it has the full 102 minerals that your body needs a day, which is the only substance on the planet. Like if you take sea moss with bladderwrack and burdock root, that has 102, but you're paying money to get this pill to have to take, whereas you literally are freely urinating all 102 minerals that you need in one substance. There is nothing else on the planet that has those minerals that your body needs, made from you, of you, by you, for you as well.
I'm just laughing because that's primo stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's high level.
But we all did it for 9 months
natural
in the womb with
nutraceutical
all
awesomeness, you know?
things.
And
we
you're
did, and I
just it.
well, and I tell people, because I do stand-up comedy and I talk about doing urine therapy on stage, and I tell people, like, if you are here alive right now, you have already been a urine drinker. That is why it's the water of life. The reason that your brain functions, that your heart functions, that your lung functions, that your entire body is functioning in any way, shape, or form is because urine sustained you in the womb. So you can judge it.
So get back to it.
Yeah, so get back to it. Yeah. My tagline is drink your leftovers, because a lot of people will be like, well, why is the body getting rid of it if your body needs it? And it's like, why don't you learn basic simplicity that, like, your kidneys are regulators, they're not filters. They're taking what they need in the moment that your body needs, and the rest is sent as extra. Now, if we lived on the land like we did when we were tribal and in community and living off the planet, we would be giving that medicine back to the land, back to the plants, to the trees, which would be nourishing them and feeding us again. So there's that cycle. So you're just completing the biofeedback loop of your body by reinvesting. So like when a tree sheds its leaves, the worst thing we do is we rake them. We should leave those leaves there to die so they can be composted back into the ground and the nourishment given back to the trees. So you're just composting what I call nutrients back into your body, you know?
Salute. You know, it's a closed system.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Anybody have more questions? We've got about 5 to 7 minutes left on the call. Last chance to throw out a question.
Has anyone talked about eye drops yet?
Sure.
Oh, the best.
We can talk about eye drops. You guys have one of these?
Eye cups.
Eye cups. Or you can get a dropper bottle. This is for the novice. For the, novice, you just simply, fill it up, pour it over your eye, hold it, blink, look straight out, blink a couple times, switch eyes, do it over here, ding, 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 ding. And something I learned from you, Ross, is just pour it over your iris when you're done.
Ah.
Okay, now the advanced.
I use droppers.
The advanced yogi uses more sophisticated equipment. And if you got swimming goggles, this will hold it in place while you go around your house going, where am I? Where am I?
Oh, that's great. I've never thought about that. That's a good tool. I mean, I just do droppers like directly into my eyes. For me personally, when I snort or use it for an eye drop, I use fresh only, because it sometimes with the evolved is too salty or spicy, like it burns. I've taken one that wasn't even an evolved. It was just a few hours old to snort, and it just burned like so much. I was like, no, only fresh, only fresh. So that's what I tell people, but I don't know, maybe using evolved, it just worries me when it like burns a little bit.
Well, that sting doesn't last long, and it's not a rite of passage.
Exactly. Like for me, I'm like, I don't need to, in this world, we are taught like the only way to heal is like torture ourselves. Like we have to go through so much pain. And yes, the pain is necessary for the full growth and expansion, but we can still enjoy the path to get there. So for me, I'm like, okay, I only want to oil pull with clearer solution. I only want to snort clearer solution. I only want to put it in my eyes with clearer solution. And that's perfectly fine. We don't need to, like, nobody's competing with me, like, put this black shit in your face right now. No, it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll put it in my butt, you know? So it is what it is.
The small amount of that powerful stuff diluted, like you said, Davina, is amazing. You just leave it in there and forget about it. You wear something that's open. If you leak a little bit, you just need a rag, but you really won't leak because you don't put that much in there. Just talking practical. You know, and if you do it, it's
like 30,
you know, it's just leave it in there, and it's amazing because you're gonna put in there
like throughout the day,
amount.
you're leaving it in?
For like leave it for an hour and a half and just disappear and turn into a bowel movement.
Oh wow!
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and small amounts, so it's like the body immediately absorbs that amount of liquid, so hence the elimination need goes away quickly. So still have the dilution in the ratio you're thinking. Just maybe even lower and leave it in longer. And it's not an enema, it's an implant at that point. What do you think?
Yes, it's an implant, and the implant travels up the biliary vein to the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and spleen. They call it the biliary tree. But when you scramble the words of biliary, it spells out library.
Oh, shoot. What the heck? I love it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
And how much do you put in, Rose, if you're doing the implant level?
30 cc's. It's about a tablespoon.
A tablespoon. That's it.
That's it.
You dilute, maybe take a tablespoon, dilute it in a little bit of fresh, and leave something like 15,
Brother
20
Sage
mils
has all the equipment right now. He's pulling out syringes. He's pulling out.
If you want to get it up your schnozola, this nose irrigator works like a charm.
Oh.
Just got to know that pressure's got a kick to it, but you can see.
Don't put a tablespoon of age up your nose to start.
I went down to the
please.
store and I got
That's
one of these.
Where do you get all those syringes from?
Well, this one I remember was called an ear cleaning kit. They may have it in, regular grocery stores, and it was like $4, whatever it is. And then I ended up I was in Target, and I went up to the pharmacist and I said, "You guys have these ear syringes?" And the guy says, "No, we give away samples." He gave me a 10 milliliter one, that size. But you can get these on either Amazon, or there's this incredible new site called Temu, Temu.
Yes, I know Temu. I don't support Amazon, but I can look on Temu, and it's called an air.
A nasal cleaning kit, whatever the words are.
Okay, nasal
As
syringe.
usual, I have an emphatic suggestion. I'm a 7-8 stellium immutable fire sign. So namaste.
What you got?
We want a piece that is long enough to go past the initial round of muscle. Because then you can get in more without this need to cut, especially without this to defecate. Frankly.
Okay, you're talking about enemas.
Okay, I thought we were still talking about the nasal. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still in the realm of enemas, actually enemas or implants, I would say. And I would use a vaginal douche pump, even to squirt up just a small amount of liquid. You can make sure there's no air in the line, and it's a rounded tip that's long, and it's a pump action, so you can put it into any water you want, and you get an implant amount, which is a tablespoon or more if you're brave, of aged, and some fresh to make, I don't know, about a cup to start. And because you don't want to have even some worry of perforation in there with a hard tip for anybody, right? And maybe that's an overblown worry. but that's one thing. And then it's the length. It's longer than even those needle nose ones that are like kind of on the cc or milliliter level. So it's a full-on pump. It's not a little syringe that measures real nice, which is wonderful to have and useful for even sticking very small amounts up there if you can handle it, right? Like, you know, you can handle it. Of course you can.
Yeah, the syringe, I think mostly he's using nasally though.
Ah, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's hardcore for me still. I just have such dry, I nebulize, you know. That's where I'm at. I'll work up to it, I swear.
Use a neti pot. The neti
Yeah, right.
pot
I've
is
done that with
nice.
fresh.
Well, I've
That
heard
works
with
great.
the neti pot, the reason that it's not the same as snorting it and or using this device is because it's coming back out and you want this to go as far up into your nasal cavity to your brain as you can have it go. So the neti pot, like if you have a stuffed nose or you're having a lot of mucus.
Okay, hold on. Roz is demonstrating through a cup.
Yeah.
You get the cup at the top of the lip and you push it up and your skin will make a seal.
Oh, seal.
And then you tip your nose or nostrils. This is dry. I mean, there's no urine in here. But then you tip your nostrils into the glass so they're submerged under the urine. And then you don't, I've observed personally for myself, slow drinking just removes the mucus. So then you blow out, do another slow drinking. Just feel how it goes up because you can start feeling it because you got sinuses all the way up here.
Yeah, right.
And as far as back as your ear.
Oh, it'll touch your brain, man.
Like to dissect fresh cadavers. I do.
Isn't there a passageway behind the nose to the throat? Back here?
And to the brain.
That,
mucus
yes.
membranes up.
It opens.
It also stimulates your vagus nerve, which it can reach through your nose, which is attached to your brainstem, which is attached to every single part of your body. And I'll say, Jona, because initially when I was like snorting it, like, no, I'm not snorting. I've never really like Coke. I'm not a snorting shit kind of person. But what I realized is that when I think about water going up the nose, it always happens in more of a traumatic way. Like you're in a pool and somebody dunks you or the ocean has smacked you.
A swimmer. It like screws with me. Like really.
Yeah, and it happens when it's non-consensual. But when you are in full control of how this is going to go up and what the motion and the feeling is going to be, it's a game changer. It took me a few months to do it. And once I did it, I was like, I can't believe how it was like a shot. Like you're terrified to get a shot and then they give you the shot and you're like, are you fucking serious? I've been stressed out for 2 weeks for that shit. So it's like that same thing. Go slowly. You're in full control. Nobody's going to like smash it up your face. The ocean's not going to drown you and it will make it a lot. I like to do it in a shower. Like when I'm taking a shower, I'll usually catch something fresh. And then I do try to actually drink it back. I had a guy named GZ on my PCast. His Instagram is based in plants and he drinks through his nose constantly. I love GZ. And he drinks through his nose constantly. And I've learned like you can, and then drink it down and continually drink through your nose. And it's pretty amazing. One of my friends who said he would never do urine therapy, who now does it, because all the people who say never, whenever someone says never to me, I laugh in their face. I'm like, can't wait to hear from you too. You're going to be doing it. But he loves snorting it more than anything. So like his practice is mainly snorting it and that works for him. And that's amazing. So
got an aged bottle from that retreat, put that up there and it's like a shotgun to the face and it's fun. I say that.
Another approach, and this is what you guys heard of Samuel G. Cohen out in Israel. He was in Israel. He was in India. He wrote the book, Drinking Through the Nose.
Oh, no.
What he taught me was to hold some in your mouth before you bring it down your nose.
Oh.
It's kind of like, oh, you can't go that way. You got to go up. So he would.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about your mouth digesting food, trying to be the first phase of digestion where you're supposed to pulverize whatever you put in your mouth and it really mixed with your saliva, which is another sacred fluid, which of incredible intelligence. And, then it goes through very thin membranes that go very into the meridians of your body, which run right through your teeth. That's why all the dental surgery is satanic. So You know, like they took out my wisdom teeth. I have no wisdom? Like a little bit.
Right.
Like my heart meridian is compromised, but not anymore, in my point of view, because of Shivambu. It connects the full spectrum. You're missing an element, maybe. All our birth, according to the sky. Shivambu is the full spectrum because water is the full spectrum absorber of information. It is the perfect receiver. It is it's infinity medium.
It's a conduit. Most people will realize, like, when you're taking a shower, you'll have so many downloads. Like, water is a conduit and a direct connection to source. That's it. And our urine is the most structured water on the planet. There is no other water on the planet, no waterfall who's never been contacted, nothing that has the amount of structure that our urine has. It's the most structured water on the planet.
And then even on top of that, it's nothing more personalized because it's like that, and it's just so unbelievable perfect, right?
Yeah.
Really
We could do this forever,
DNA.
Brother Sage.
It's a DNA jump.
Yes.
It's a DNA jump. I mean, we've been told by various science our DNA is junk. No, it jumps. It structures itself back together like it, you know, it jumps.
Yeah.
Well, we are lean, clean regeneration machines, and you guys got it down better than anybody. And we're going to come to the close of our call today. I love each and every one of you. Quick announcements. I was going to make some, but now here's the time. If you haven't visited our nonprofit organization, which we've been building an infrastructure for the worldwide family, you go to shivambu.org, spelled the old Hindu way, SHIVAMBHU.org. You'll find a link to our social media platform called Shivambu Hut. We currently have 1,083 members. It's interesting that before the pandemic hit in 2020, we had only 200 members. It jumped that year to 600, and it's been jumping 300 every since, and we're now up to 1,083 members. The Shivambu Wisdom Chart is available for donation if anybody wants a copy of that. The Water Family Directory is still available. Some of you guys are already listed. This is designed so that anybody can find a urine therapy teacher or connection wherever they live on the planet. And that's parked over at brothersage.com. If you'll do the drop-down menu, there's the About tab, unless you're from Canada, the About tab, and it drops down to the bottom. It says Water Family Directory.
Hell yeah. I really like the term shamdemic, just to share with you if that resonates for you. But we're not getting political. But
that's not political.
Okay, one last
believe.
Yeah.
One last thing. All my books.
I love you, Rose.
All these books that I've written, all 6 of these books, are available 50% off wherever you live. If you buy at least 12, I can ship it from any Amazon distribution point to anyone on the planet. The idea is to get all the urine therapy education out to the public, either through gift shops, crystal shops, New Age churches, libraries. I've pitched a few libraries. So let's see what we can do to, bridge the gap. The other 3 months where people don't know about urine, and and make a splash. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. This was amazing to meet people all over the freaking country and world. We had Tim from Germany here committing to ourselves and to health and wellness to the purest, most real natural form. And I'm just very grateful to be connected now with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Sage, for all you do to bring us together.
Remember, guys, keep rocking in a P world, and all we are saying is give piss a chance.
Drink your leftovers.
Drink your leftovers. Follow Urine for a Treat PCast. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you again. Bye.